Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Midweek Moment live on the patio on the campus of Paz Naz. Over the summer, as Jeff and I were returning from a family vacation in the Midwest, we were flying from Michigan to LA with a layover in Chicago. However, typical Midwestern storms caused our connection flight to be totally canceled, which sometimes wouldn't be a big deal, except I had an event that I needed to be back for here in Pasadena the very next day. So Jeff and I frantically went to the ticket counter, tried to remain calm, and just said, book us on any flight out west. We don't care where it is. From there, we'll just rent a car and we'll drive back to Los Angeles. Thankfully, the clerk behind the desk was able to help us out and book us a flight to Las Vegas. And so Jeff and I were on the flight to Las Vegas, and we pulled out our devices and we were frantically working to book any vehicle so we could drive from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. We landed in Las Vegas at 1 a.m. and we had paid for a car in advance to make our way back. So we went straight to the counter at the rental car place, and to our dismay, we learned that they gave our car away. The one that we paid for in advance, the one that we rented. And not only did they give our car away, but they had no cars left. So we went to every rental company, and all the cars in the Las Vegas airport were gone. And we went back to the original place where we had actually paid for the car. And I looked at Jeff and I thought, Jeff, we paid for it. How could they give our car away? Aren't you going to give it to them? Aren't you going to lean in and tell them how wrong this is and how fair this is? But instead, Jeff just responded very gently and very lovingly. And as we walked away, said, why didn't you give it to them? This is wrong. This is unfair. And he said, well, it's not her fault. She didn't do this. Why should we give it to her? That day, Jeff showed me what the way of meekness looks like. As we've been doing our sermon series, Blessed, we looked at the third Beatitude. Blessed are those who are meek, for they will inherit the earth. And oftentimes we think of meekness as weakness, as just sitting on our hands, and especially in a polarized world, we think the only way to respond to unjust or difficult situations is to either sit on our hands, turn a blind eye, and do nothing, or fight back and get angry and show them, stick it to the man. But instead, what Jesus does in the Sermon on the Mount and the Beatitudes, when he declares, blessed are the meek, is he shows us an alternative path. He shows us a third way, responding to difficult, less than ideal, and often unjust situations in love and gentleness. Not weakness, not sitting on our hands and doing nothing, but instead in love. It is power wrapped in love, power wrapped in kindness, power wrapped in gentleness. Seems to me, in a very stressed out and polarized world, we are choosing one of the extremes. But Jesus is calling us as the people of God to an alternative way, to a third way. How might we choose that alternative path in the way of Jesus this week? That's all for this week's Midweek Moment, except we just have one really important item before we let you go. Today, there's a woman behind the camera, and it is her birthday. And so I'm going to ask her to come all the way around here with me. She's laughing, she's embarrassed, but this is really important. So Pastor Faith Ramasco has a birthday today. You may not know Pastor Faith, as she's often behind the scenes. She runs our podcast, Exhale, which is an incredible podcast. I'm embarrassing her like none other. But just be sure to wish her oh, she's not on camera. Here we go. This is Pastor Faith, the one, the woman, the myth, the legend behind our Exhale podcast. Among many other things, she is an artist. She is our pastor of New Grounds Ministries. And perhaps you might find her, Pastor Faith Ramasco, and wish her a very happy birthday today. And one more, yesterday, Fred Harrison, one of our tech guys, it was his birthday yesterday. So be sure to wish them both a very happy birthday. That's all for today. We will see you on Sunday.